Good morning. I'm back again with another Bob's Your Uncle video. I wanted to keep working on my little contrived project where we take data from a variety of data sources and then pull that all down and kind of mash it together using agents or agentic AI without having to do any ETL process of like pulling all this stuff down and sticking it into BigQuery and then or some other database and then running some SQL queries against it. So I also noticed I followed this project called Agent Zero, and I also noticed last week or the week before that they have beta support now for MCP servers, which is pretty slick. And I have a couple MCP servers that I've developed to go out to this iPads, this education data system here, and grab some data from, I think it's this, and they changed the website here recently. So if you go to the downloadable surveys, complete data files, I think it's this one. Yeah, so these ones where through prompting I can say, hey, go download, whatever survey by year, and it will go out and check, find out what the data file is to download it, extract it, all that junk. So what we're going to do today is basically use this institutional characteristics. So this is going to have some information about the universities in it right here, institutional directory. And this is the file we need to get. And then also, I think it's graduation rates here. No, not graduation. No, it's not that one. Which one? Oh, completion, sorry. Completions here. So the completions by 2023 right here, number of students receiving awarded by level and gender. So let's go ahead, copy that real quick, update my prompt here. So anyways, so yeah, that's what we're kind of working on. And then I have my little Salesforce demo set up here where I created a universities table and I loaded in just two universities, University of Colorado and Utah. So you can see these, here where, we have the name, the gross tuition, and then the tuition type. So put on your imaginary hat, that you have all this stuff and you want to get, like, let's just do a simple pie chart of percentage of male, female by the institution, and you want to know what their in-state and out-of-state tuition costs are. And you don't have all that inside the iPads database, and you don't have all that inside in Salesforce, so you want to bring these together. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So I have right here, it's just a Docker container. You can go read the documentation. It's pretty straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and kick this off here. And we're going to mount a local volume here. I have Agent Zero data, and inside there I have my MCP servers. And we want to mount it as A0. Let's go ahead and run that. Okay. So once this kicks off, we'll have to do a little bit of setup since I went through and deleted all the kind of cache configuration and stuff like that of the MCP servers. So, all right, so now that's up and running. Let's go ahead and click this. Brings you to the UI here. We go under settings. You click the MCP tab, click open, and this is where you put in your MCP servers, just like you do with like Claude and Claude Desktop and all the other ones. So I'm going to go ahead and cut and paste this. And format that. So you can see here I'm using UVX for my iPads and Salesforce, just these two. Let's go ahead and apply that. This will start up the MCP servers, and then you'll see their status right here. Here's the tools, or number of tools available, and then their log file. So in here you can just see this is stuff that's coming out of my MCP servers that I just logged. So that's all captured here. All right, cool. So save that. Now let's go back to my prompt here. And let me type this up here real quick. So let's do this here. All right. Delegate to another agent to get to download the iPad's institutional data for 2023 while finding all the completion surveys for the year 2023. We want to go back here. Let's just do this one. Let's just take this description here. For the number of students receiving awards by level, age, and categories that are available. Download the data files for the survey. Oh, I already did it here. All right, let's just get rid of this. I think there's Department of Redundancy there. So let's fire this off, see what happens. You can also see all this in the Docker logs, but you can see here, okay, we got tasks here. Download the institutional data and then find and download all the surveys for this. So you can see here, Agent 0 can actually call subordinate tasks. So it's right here, tool name call subordinate here. And this is Agent 1's doing this. So you can see the iPads get downloadable surveys. That's calling my MCP server to get a list of all those, okay? And then he correctly, or she, it correctly identified that HD 2023 is the one that we want, so it's gonna go ahead and download it once again, calling the tool to download it. Now this will get an error because it's on Linux and it doesn't have unzip installed by default, but that's okay, because Agent 0 is pretty good about healing itself or fixing itself. It'll realize that it needs to install unzip, and it'll run the appropriate apt-get or yum install to do this. All right, so you've identified all the completion surveys. Okay, cool. This is what I wanted. See, 2023 matches the request of those, so I don't know why it's downloading that one, but it might download them all. Yeah, see, so it's downloading all this. It's going to download all these too. So these are once again, the tools are doing this. And then it'll unzip. So we'll let this run. I might have to fast forward to this a little bit because I don't have the fastest computer in the world, but let's just watch this. Oh, I just realized I forgot to put this forgot to complete the prompt here. So we'll just go ahead and we can add this in here. Unzip all the files. Okay. Go ahead and delete them if they already exist. Okay, so that puked. That's okay. As I mentioned, it'll use apt-get to install unzip, I believe. Okay, yeah, terminal there. Yep, apt-get, cool. Okay. A little bigger. So all we're doing on the MCP servers, we're scraping these websites and extracting all these different tags and texts and download files and stuff like that. It's pretty straightforward. All right, so that's okay. He's checking to see if there, and then he's unzipping all those. That's cool because I told him to do that. just in case there's some hanging chads in there. All right. And then once this is done, okay, so this is done. I'm going to go ahead and type up this here. So let's look at this. Write a Python program that uses pandas to extract. This is the university ID, and I just added this. Actually, I know I didn't do this. This is the university ID from the iPads, and then this is the male, female, and the total completion rates. And then I kind of describe it a little bit to tell it like this is the men and this is the women. And the unit ID is unique identifier. Name the results, the graduation rates. Note that the file is in Windows format. I just know this because I've played around with this before, so I'm just kind of telling it beforehand so it sets the proper encoding when it's doing the pandas, so it doesn't puke. Although it does fix itself, so it's not a big deal. Afterwards, get the institution data for the University of Colorado for 2023 and join this data in here, and this will be our graduation rates with university name. So let's do this. It's going to be our first join of the day. Yeah, see, there you go. It's the encoding. Now this is going to puke too because it doesn't have pandas, but that's not a big deal because Agent 0 will fix itself and it will install pandas. I probably could just, since I know ahead of time, I probably could just tell it to do that, but that's one of the nice things about this is it does a pretty good job of figuring out when shit hits the fan how to fix itself. I also like the fact that this runs on Linux because you get a lot of tooling out of the box there, and you don't have to force everything through running through the LLM. All right, so that was installed. Let's go try this again. All right, so that's done. Let's go ahead and take a look at this file. So I click this, downloads it, and pull this over. You can see here that we've got University of Colorado, all these various percent men and women, and all this other fields that I really don't care about here. You see all this stuff. Okay, so this is the join between the institution data and those completion rates. So that's kind of slick. All right, now we're going to go ahead and add in the other secret sauce here. So paste this in here, and they say once we have the data, we need to get the tuition amount, which is in Salesforce. Run the following SQL query. And for this example, I'm going to go ahead and add in the, just so I can show you down the road here, let's just look for the in-state tuition and join this to the graduation. And then I just tell them like this institution name equals the name that comes from Salesforce since we don't have the unit ID in Salesforce. All right, let's run that. So this is going to call my Salesforce tool, which does the authentication using the Java Web Tokens. It runs the SQL query using the bulk API right here. You can see here we got the data back. So it's going to add that stuff. That's pretty slick. All right. And then that's done. Let's just create a pie chart to make it a little bit interesting. Everybody loves pie charts. So create a pie chart with the breakdown of percent men and women. Add the university name, year, tuition amount as a legend to the bottom right corner of the chart. Let's see if this works. Okay. Okay, so it should create us a little PNG file. Okay, now this will puke again because it doesn't have matplotlib, but once again, it'll just install it. Man, it sure is a nice day here in Colorado. Finally getting warm. Looking forward to my backpack trips this summer. Doing a couple up in Wyoming. The Wind River should be pretty fun. All right, so you can see here, all right, installed matplotlib. Now we'll go ahead and rerun this, creating the pie chart. So the other thing I noticed, this thing's really good with the, the vector database, kind of like this memory stuff, storing it. I mean, it's pretty solid so far. So it tries not to do the Department of Redundancy. Okay, code execution tool. All right, created the pie chart. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, so there we go. That looks pretty good for first cut, right? It's got my little percentage graduation rate of the year, the tuition here. So yeah, that's pretty slick. Now, I'm going to just tell it to say, here we go. I'm going to say run the same analysis from the beginning, but instead with the University of Utah. So let's see how this does. So I should replace in that SOQL query, we should still have the predicate for the in-state tuition. All the data is already downloaded, so it should just go through the Python stuff. And then at the end, I'm going to go ahead and tell it to run the same analysis, but without the tuition type. So we get both the in-state and out-of-state tuition. So that should be pretty interesting. So here's the thoughts. Okay. That all looks pretty slick. There's 5 steps there. Extract the graduation rates, get the university institution data, query Salesforce, where it's Utah, join the tuition data, and then create a pie chart. Okay, looks like that worked. Let's see, I'm not got to do that. There's the University of Utah with the tuition. The other thing is, like you can go here in the MCP servers. If we open these up, you'll see the logs here. I log a bunch of stuff. So you can see all the, this is for the Salesforce where I'm running the SOQL query right here. Yeah, and then also the iPads. You can see here where it's getting all the data for all the different surveys and, doing the downloading. So it's pretty slick. All right, let's see. All right, it's got to do that now. Okay, take a look at this. Utah. There we go. pretty close to a 50-50 split. In-state tuition, University of Utah. All right, so last thing I want to show here is, oops, don't want to do that. Let me copy my prompt because I'm terrible at like typing this stuff on during demos. Okay, so run the same analysis but without the tuition type. So we get both the in-state and out-of-state tuitions. Let's go ahead and do this. So this should, adjust the SOQL query, and then also adjust the Python code. Let's go look at Docker, see what's going on here. This you can also exec in, obviously, here to your running container. Kind of like look around. So here's this LS. And then, as I said, my MCP servers are here. Okay, and then one thing, when this thing starts up, it extracts all of its, files that it needs here. So what I do is I just nuke all this except for my MCP server directory periodically. And then all of the, I guess you could probably do this too, so you don't have to cut and paste all this, but all the MCP servers are stuffed in this settings JSON file here. See right here, so you probably could script this and create that file and then just drop it in that directory before you start it up. Okay, so here we go. Here's the Salesforce. We can see we got both of them here now. And let's see, we can take a look at this if we want. CSV file while we wait. See, here's the CSV file with all the university garbage in there. So we can kind of grab whatever we wanted from that. And now it's going to do the quick little okay. But it did not create if the pie chart. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's do this. I thought I told it to. Yes. Let's create a pie chart. I should have spelled wrong there. So it's probably looking up all this stuff in the so it knows what to run, all of the information from that vector database. All right, let's do this now. Click that, and then here we go. Here you go. Now I got in-state, out-of-state tuition. That's pretty slick. Man, this stuff's getting so good. Yeah, I call it the toaster. We're all going to be toast sooner or later, but might as well lean into it. So there you go. Bob's your uncle again, and once again, we prove that we can do this stuff. So we move some data around without actually doing any ETL pipelines, which is pretty slick. Obviously, this might not be great for large data sets, but I definitely think it's the directionally where some of this stuff's going to be going. So there you go. Play around with Agent Zero and enjoy your day. Take care.